Yo, what's up? What's up?
Well,
This is
good.
episode
Four, two, four, four. Two plus two equals four.
episode 4 of D.I.E. Diversity and everything, where we just kind of discuss whatever and just see the diversity of thoughts that we can come up with to help the community, our brothers and sisters out here, express themselves. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, ask questions. We love interaction. Um, it's all good, we all family. So this episode, we're going to talk about how far is too far.
Yeah.
We just watched this hilarious video by my man's Deshae Frost, and it was the "Yo, I got your mom's pregnant" one, and
Crazy, yo.
it was hilarious, but it brings up a topic of in relationships with people, what are our boundaries, how far is too far, and what's okay and what's not okay, and how do we set those boundaries and communicate those boundaries while we build healthy relationships. If you saw the last episode, make sure you go see the last episode. We talk about pain and we talk about the past, and a lot of times we have pain from our past from the lack of setting up proper boundaries. So this episode we're going to talk about just boundaries and how far is too far, whether you're going too far or whether you're letting someone go too far. How far is too far? What you think, bro?
Nah, I mean, I think that trying to figure out how far is too far allows us to set up our boundaries to where it prevents us from that possible pain that may come in, and I think that setting up boundaries brings a level of maturity, not only to the person who sets up the boundaries, because you have to do a lot of deep inner work to know where your boundary at, but then it also has to take maturity on the second party to respect that boundary. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny because one of my biggest boundaries, or I guess you could say boundary, is I don't like when anybody hits me up before 10 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Even though, everybody's usually up by that time. I just use that time because it doesn't mean that I get up at 10 a.m. just because I'm asking you not to hit me up before 10 a.m. Is I use the time from when I wake, which can literally be anywhere between 5 to 7. I use that time to literally get myself corrected spiritually. I meditate. I may watch a couple spiritual videos, from Travis Mages, Brother Polite, Bobby Hemmett, Hood Mystic, all of those folks, shout out. But I use that time for myself. You know what I'm saying? And I actually got that from an ex-girlfriend because she told me that was her boundary. And at first it was so funny because I didn't really understand it. I was just like, all right, for sure. Like, I won't hit you up before 10. Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't a thing to where it's like, oh, my nigga, like, what the fuck? Like, it was just like, all right, for sure, I won't hit you up before 10. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But I won't hit you up before 10.
Right.
And now in my path, since, we've separated, in my path, when I ask people to do the same thing, I have some people who do get it, no problem, just as I did, you know what I'm saying, or don't get it but still respect it. Then I have people who literally just come at me in like a foul way, you know what I'm saying, and don't respect it. And what's funny is I've had those people come back around and apologize, or just like, not even that. I have another thing. Like, if I'm conversing with you or something like that, even if you the homie, like, at least fucking be some type of interested in what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? If I say I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that's visual that you can see, just be like, yo, bro, how can I see it? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, homie, how can I see it? Because I know that I'm going to do it to you because I know you put your time, you put your effort. This is, you know what I'm saying, your energy that was put in. And as a friend, I should be supportive of that. with me being supportive is showing interest. If I don't show any interest, then how do you even know that I'm supportive? It's just like a girl with her dude. You know what I'm saying? If the dude ain't calling her, you know what I'm saying, or the girl ain't calling the dude, that shows a lack of interest. And then both of them end up going their separate ways and feeling some type of way. And then we never even had a conversation because they never even set up their boundaries. So we never find out how far is too far until we find out that we went too far.
And that's the thing. I believe trial and error is a good teacher. Because a lot of times what we end up doing is we get our boundaries from our parents, and sometimes shoot, they might not have boundaries, or their boundaries may be different from other people's or other cultures. So we have these boundaries, and a lot of times people feel that in their household that this is how the world works. Most people feel that the way my household was is how the rest of the world operates, because my parents are going to teach me how the world works. You know what I'm saying? And that's the expectation that we get. But a lot of times what I had to learn was that's how my house worked. And it still works that way. But the world necessarily doesn't operate that way. So I had to figure out, stepping out into the world, what my boundaries were. And I had to figure out what the world's boundaries were and how to communicate those in between different types of relationships. Because my boundary with, one person may be different than a boundary with another person, and my boundary may change from one person from the same person at different times. I might need to, we didn't have that boundary, now I need to set this, or you know what, I can let this boundary now down at this point. But I think deciding how far is too far is really more so a conversation rather than a decision. It's like you said, what I really took from what you said about friends being inquisitive about what you're interested about is really more so just being interested about who you are in general, whether it be what you're interested about or naturally what your boundaries are. And I think I take that into consideration when I deal with people, because I know that I can be very aggressive in my approach with people. So I always tend to, because I went through a season at a time where I offended a lot of people based off of my aggressive character, but I didn't realize, I was just being, okay, let's be forward, let's be direct, but really some people weren't necessarily ready for that forwardness or directness, and that's okay too, because that's their boundaries. So what I had to do was learn how to respect people's boundaries, but by knowing that I'm a boundary crosser, I have to then be inquisitive about what each individual's boundaries are. I take on that responsibility. Which, hey, is this cool or not? No? Cool. Yeah? Cool. But it's about having people mature enough to want and desire to know what the boundary is, and then want to respect it, because some people will specifically find your boundary to cross it. That's their goal, to find the boundary to cross it. And it's like,
that's that line pusher. Like there's a fucking edge right there. Oh my god, let me go ahead and cross that bitch.
because it sparks, what is it, adrenaline. Some people get off to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's about really power and control for those types of people. And that's something that even myself as a person has dealt with, but I had to realize the understanding of power and control.
Yeah.
And And did I really want that? You know what I'm saying? Like, people think they really want that.
That power and control. Yeah.
But that's not what you really want. You know what I'm saying? You want to understand it, but honestly, the responsibility of all power and all control is something that we can choose our own decisions, but we don't get to choose our consequences. And because we aren't foreknowing, or our foresight is so unidimensional, we don't have the ability to foresee the consequences of our decisions, unless we compile decisions. We can only foresee a certain time frame, and that's why we have to set up boundaries, because we have to say, okay, I can only see this far, and everybody's timing is different. Some people can see further in time than others can. But if I can only foresee 2 days in my future, then I may have different boundaries than a person who wakes up foreseeing 20 years down the road, because the next 6 months is already on the calendar, or the next 3 years is already on the calendar. You know, so I know
crazy.
the
That's
next
crazy.
3 years my calendar is done.
Yeah.
It's written, and I'm sticking with it. So I foresee that the 3 years of this knowing will result in a 20-year manifestation.
Yeah.
My boundaries are going to be different than a person who can only see 2 days into their
the
future.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that, and it's funny that you're saying that, because I was watching this video. I think it's a Boyce Watkins. I think that's his name, if I'm not mistaken. But he was on the Rock Newman show. That's where I seen this. That's exactly where I seen this video. I seen it off of Instagram, just this one little minute long. But it made me want to actually go watch the whole hour episode. But he was speaking about dang, I don't know, I lost it just that fast, bruh. I lost it just that fast. What was the last thing you just said right now?
Depending on the foresight of
the foresight
of one's the length of
Oh,
one's
okay,
foresight.
got it, right. So he was talking about how we need to be on this 200-year plan. Like, we need to stop being on 2 month, 3 month, you know what I'm saying, 4 month. We need to be, as a collective community, need to be on this 200-year plan, because that's exactly what, you know what I'm saying, other folks have done to advance their community. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's so funny that you had said that, because, you know, once again, I'm a big ass anime fan, and on One Piece, there is this dude from the Big Mama Pirates. I think his name's Katakuri. I think I'm saying his name right. I might be butchering that motherfucker like a motherfucker. But he had conquered the skill of observation, right?
Huh.
So what that does, I mean, it's a lot of other different skills that you can master, but this one allows you to see the future.
Yeah.
Right now, it's almost like okay, so he allows you to see. It allows him to see the ability. He gives him the ability to see in the future, right? So the main character of One Piece, which is Luffy, Monkey D. Luffy, he does not have that, right? But with him fighting him, he then develops that skill. He had trained that skill. He had the skill. He knew of the skill. He had honed in on it for a little bit, but then he started working on other shit. But then when he came to this point in his life, he needed to focus on this, right?
Whew. Hold on. I need to pause, because my brain just exploded.
Right? So, because now he is in this time and space, he needs to advance himself. But it's because he needs to look further into the future to see what this person is going to do, right? But then that's also, if you think about it, that's also low-key being on the same wavelength as this person to see what you're going to do. That means on top, I already have to give you a certain amount of respect, right? And I have to realize that with me doing that, with me just automatically giving you a certain level of respect, I kind of already start respecting your boundaries.
Because it's already there. When you respect all people, I just got respect for you. Whatever you going through, you know what I'm saying? You could
No judgment.
I even respect your disrespectful nature. I got respect for your disrespect. It's not that I approve,
but I respect it.
But you
because
disrespectful.
Because I understand what you're going through.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I've been there, and even if I haven't been there, let me try to go there with you. You dig what I'm saying? So I can understand why you feel it's okay to boundary
disrespect
cross.
Only comes from inner turmoil. So if you choose to disrespect me, I apologize for the inner turmoil that you had to go through to get yourself to the point
that you felt it was okay to disrespect somebody.
That you felt it was okay to disrespect someone.
And that's so crazy because you said that you used to be a boundary crosser without consciousness, without you consciously knowing that you were a boundary crosser. And I was at a point in my life like that too, where, you know, like I try to respect people's boundaries, you know, but subconsciously I was not respecting them. You know what I'm saying? And I've lost a lot of good people, you know what I'm saying? And the lack of patience with communication has allowed me to not go through the full conversation to then at that point in time really come to understand of what this person's boundary is, you know what I'm saying? And you know, some people don't want to have that conversation, you know, but I think that the reason why people don't want to have that conversation is because literally how that conversation goes. You say something that I disagree with, I say something that you disagree with, you may actually end up getting a little bit louder, so I get a little bit louder. I actually end up matching your frequency. Instead of staying calm just like we first started the conversation, so then at that point in time we can actually finish the conversation. Even if you get loud at me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if you get loud at me, still stay respect at a respectable tone. Or if your energy has started to affect my energy, let me be conscious enough to know, aware that, oh shit, I'm going like this, so let me come back down. Because I think what happens is not what I think, because I've actually had it done. With me coming up and then realizing that I'm coming up, which means that I have to stay in the moment, right? And in order to stay in the moment, then at that point in time, I actually foresee the future, because I'm staying within the moment to control myself. And this goes back to the anime that I was talking about, One Piece. In order for him to literally see the future, to conquer the skill of observation, they both had to stay in the moment. They couldn't think about the future. They had to stay calm. Literally, bruh. Literally, like, the dude that he was fighting was the most calmest fighter ever, bruh. But you didn't know why he was so calm. You just thought he was cocky because he never lost a fight, right? But it wasn't that. He had to stay calm in order to use the observation, in order to use the skill of observation to foresee the future. He was the most I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this and that's gonna end it. And he was the most respectable person out of everybody, bruh. Like, the most respectable. He respected you no matter where you were in life. If you was a top soldier like him, or if you was the person who cleaned the floors with the toothbrush.
And this is the thing. It's a word that we learned as kids that we almost took for granted, but didn't understand the depth of what it really meant. Homeostasis. You remember that in science?
Yeah, I remember that.
And we take it as if, like, you know, we're just breathing. Okay, I'm breathing, I'm here, I'm alive, you know, but really it is a place of my heart rate, my temperature, my breath are all flowing fluidly and balanced in line and in order.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. I just learned something new, y'all.
And it's the natural practice of a spiritual thing. And I truly believe to bridge the gap between our deep spiritualist and our science geeks and our religious community,
Occultist community.
occultist community.
Yeah.
Um, because I want to say religious because there's a difference between the occultist community and the
I would have speak to them too.
it-
Like we
but-
need to bridge the
but-
gap between.
but
But
yeah,
I know what you're
let's-
saying.
but
I'm
them
sorry.
as well.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the occultist and the religious
Yes.
community
Yeah, yeah.
because they, they are one and the same, but extremes of different coins or
Yeah,
two sides of a
the
different coin. You
I
know
dig
what
what
I'm
you're
saying? The
saying.
same coin.
Oh, yeah,
almost.
same coin.
But it's I think the understanding that we are really looking for and needing to come to is the understanding that you got a piece and I got a piece, you got a piece and I got a piece. You got some bull, I got some bull, you got some bull, and I got some bull too.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of stuff that we need to do away with once we bring all the missing pieces together. Because everybody sitting back like they have a full puzzle. And what I see is everybody having different pieces of the same puzzle and really not bringing them to the table. So.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I get it. It's like we all at the same table and we all got our section of puzzle pieces and we put it together and we know that we're missing puzzle pieces.
We
right?
not even in
but
the
instead
same.
but instead of asking the person next to you like, yo,
Yes, ma'am.
like do you have this puzzle piece? You're just looking around or trying to look under your seat or look under the table to find it. But you literally see all of these other people around you who also have puzzle pieces, who isn't complete. And they doing the same thing you're doing, but we're not talking to each other. So at the end of the day, we're literally just wandering around looking for literally what's right in front of our face, but we just don't want to have that emotional conversation. So I know my guy, he had to go handle some business, but yeah, man, I think that we just need to respect each other to the point where we want to respect each other to the point that we can exchange puzzle pieces and finally complete the puzzle together, not individually. So, we once again, we appreciate the time. I know my guy gone, but I know he definitely gonna say the same thing. We appreciate y'all time, man. We're glad that you tuned in with us once again. Like he said, if you want comment, we appreciate that. We would like to interact with you guys. And just share, share. That's all we asking. Just share with us, man. Share with us. Share with your folks, your family, your friends. Just share, man. Don't be afraid to share. Let's stop being afraid to share. And so y'all enjoy your day. Peace.